So, outside of actually losing the game, which thankfully the Niners did not do, how things unfolded on Sunday was exactly what I was afraid of, which is having a win feel like a loss, particularly because they almost did lose at the end despite having a 24-point lead. But mostly because, well, y'all know it, because of the more effing injuries that just wants to make you more just throw up in disgust. I mean, given what they went through last season, which was derailed by an unprecedented number of injuries, the last thing the Niners deserved was to lose Raheem Mostert and Jason Verrett for the season with knee injuries. And I know this was the first game for D'Amico Ryans calling the shots as defensive coordinator, but the dude's got to tighten up that interior run D because they can't keep getting gashed up the middle the way the Lions ran it up there the way they did. But on the bright side, the D-line pressured the heck out of Jared Goff for the most part. Nick Bosa and D Ford looked great. I was stoked to see Ford just jack that lineman into Goff, which led to Dre Greenlaw's pick six.
Yep.
And Greenlaw was a force, as was Azeez Al-Shahir, who was flying around making plays left and right. And speaking of playmaker, how about Elijah Mitchell picking up the running back duties after Mostert went down and ripping up 104 yards with a touchdown in his debut? I mean, that was phenomenal. In fact, for all you fantasy players, Elijah Mitchell, priority waiver claim this week. So anyway, I guess the offense in general, I think, did well overall. Deebo Samuel was awesome. Even though Trey Lance didn't play all that much, he did get his cup of coffee for the game and was perfect. 1 for 1, touchdown. Can't get better than that. And Jimmy G, despite that fumble on their first possession, it was at least good to see him, get in there, step it up, and when needed. And I think that he actually played possibly his best game as far as like week 1 game goes as a Niner. So there were some of those positives to take away, I suppose. And at the end of the day, at least they won, right, Jeff?
Well, right. And that's funny you say that, because that's one thing what everyone keeps saying, right? A win is a win. In the National Football League, a win is a win. But I'm with you. I was like, man, that's as close as you can get to getting a win, but yet feeling like we lost right from the beginning, man. Like, what could go worse other than, okay, the Lions, they're still the Lions, but fumbling the first snap? I'm like, what is going on here? The first snap. And then the injuries coming into the game. I was already irritated. So I was totally looking forward to the game, right? And then Todd or one of you guys texts me and says, oh, by the way, Kinlaw and E-Man are out. And I'm like, what? Why? Why are they out? I need some information here. I thought they were fine. And then we go into the game, we get those guys get hurt. Again, because I'm always talking about the health. So, I mean, I had to finally, I think it was Todd that texted me and said, so some positives as far as the game was going. And I had to remember, I guess. And yeah, it's only one game, but man, I really came out of that. And since the game, just thinking, man, what a disaster, what a start, right? like, why we keep getting all these guys hurt? I don't understand. So we lose those two guys you mentioned, and then we were already without E-Man and Kinlaw. I don't understand. But yes, the offense seemed to be great. And I think that's what Todd had said, right? Like, oh, the offense has been, scored 14 points, and they've been just no problem, right? Moving up and down the field, which is great. Yes, I get it. But it's just really frustrating to see the run up the middle, and maybe that's because Kinlaw wasn't there, and these guys getting hurt. And so it was just like, because I initially thought when we were way up, that's what I thought was going to happen. And then as the events played out, to think that, oh man, we're about to lose this game. What's going on here? The ball off Kittle's face mask, and oh man.
Well,
we can totally go on, but yeah, go ahead.